Hello friends, today's discussion is about Pythagorean triplet. To start with, let's consider a right triangle with the length of the three sides A, B and C. These are the length of the three sides. Now C is the hypotenuse as it is the longest side and is opposite to the right angle. So we know that in a right triangle, the square of the longest side is equals to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So here C is the longest side, so we can write like C square is equals to A square plus B square. Now C is the longest one, A and B are the smaller one. So this is called as the Pythagoras theorem that we have learnt in our earlier classes. Now if you consider the same triangle, the three sides of the right triangle ABC are the three sides. So that follows the condition C square is equals to A square plus B square are called as Pythagorean triplets. So here the A, B and C are called as the Pythagorean triplets as they follow the Pythagoras theorem. So they are the three sides of the right triangle. So they are called as the Pythagorean triplets. So any number that follows this condition will be known as Pythagorean triplets. Now let's see some example now. Let's take the numbers 3, 4 and 5. Now we can find the squares. So 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. Now if you add the smaller numbers, that is 9 and 16, we will get 25. And 25 is nothing but 5 squared, as you can see that. So 5 squared can be written as now 3 square plus 4 squared. So this is the Pythagoras theorem. So it's a right triangle. So as it follows the Pythagoras theorem, that is the C square is equal to A square plus B square, we can say that numbers 3, 4 and 5 are the Pythagorean triplets. Now let's see some Pythagorean triplets that we know. So these are all the Pythagorean triplets. There are actually infinitely many. So we can see here a Pythagorean triplet always consists of all even numbers or two odd numbers and one even number. That is the condition of the Pythagorean triplet. So that's the format you will find in the Pythagorean triplets. Either all will be even or two odd will be there, one even will be there. All the three numbers cannot be odd because we know that the square of an odd number is always odd, square of an even number is always even. So if all the three are odd, so when we add two squares of the odd numbers, we will get even because odd plus odd is even. But we know that the third side is also odd, so its square will be also odd. So here there is a contradiction. So all the three cannot be odd. Now let's know how to construct Pythagorean triplets. So for this, let's take the Pythagorean triplet 3, 4, 5 is the smallest one. Now here we can say 3 can be written as 4 minus 1 and 5 can be written as 4 plus 1. That's the pattern here. 3 is written as 4 minus 1 and 5 is written as 4 plus 1. 4 can be written as 2 times 2. So here we have to see that 4 is 2 times 2. Now 3 is equals to 4 minus 1. Here 4 minus 1 can be written as 2 squared minus 1. 4 is 2 squared. So 2 squared minus 1. And here it is written as 2 squared plus 1. Now here you have to note that, see the number 2 in the blue colors. So here if I put it as m, the number 2 in the blue color, what is there? That is m. Then 2 square minus 1 becomes m square minus 1 and 2 square plus 1 becomes m square plus 1. So m square minus 1, 2m, m square plus 1. This is the criteria or the condition for the Pythagorean triplets. So a Pythagorean triplets can be of the form 2m, m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. So what is the use of this one? So by using this criteria, suppose in a question any one of the triplet is given, by using this we can find the other two. That means the three numbers are always of this form 2m, m square minus 1 and m square plus 1. For example, we have a number 2. Suppose 12 is one of the triplet. Now how to find the other two numbers here? So as 12 is an even number, we can put 2m equals to 12. So if 2m is 12, m will be 6 because it's half. If 2m is 12, m is 12 by 2, that is 6. Now m is 6. From this we can find out m square minus 1. Now what is m square minus 1? It will be 6 squared because m is 6. So 6 square minus 1 is 36 minus 1. 6 square is 36. Now 36 minus 1 is 35. Similarly, we can find m square plus 1 because we know already what is the value of m. So m square plus 1 will be 6 square plus 1, that is 36 plus 1, 37. Now we can see that by using one of the number, the other two numbers of the triplets we can find. So here we can say 12, 35 and 37 form the Pythagorean triplet. So using 12 we have found out the other two numbers. So you can see it here also in the table. 12, 35, 37 form a Pythagorean triplets. Let's take another. Suppose we have now 24. Now 24 also is an even number. So we can say 2m equals to 24. If 2m is 24, m will be 12, half of it. Now if m is 12, m square minus 1 will be 12 square minus 1, that is 144 minus 1, and 144 minus 1 is 143. Similarly, we can find m square plus 1. So 12 squared plus 1, 144 plus 1, that is 145. Now we see here that the number 24, using 24, now 24 is one of the member. So by using that, the other two we can find out. So here we get 24, 143 and 145 forms a Pythagorean triplet. So we can see here 24, 143 and 145 forms a Pythagorean triplet. Now suppose let's take a number 13. Now 2m, if you will take 13, now m will be 13 by 2. Now that's a problem. Now 13 by 2 is not a whole number. So here, how to find when one of the member is a odd one? So if one of the member is odd, we cannot use this 2m, because 2m we will be using only for even numbers, because even numbers are divisible by 2, so it becomes as easy. Now for this type of questions where one of the member is odd, here what we will do, let's take the same Pythagorean triplet 3, 4 and 5. Now let's 3 is 4 minus 1, 5 is 4 plus 1. So 4 minus 1 can be written as 4 is 2 squared, 1 is 1 squared. So 4 minus 1 we can write as 2 squared minus 1 squared. Similarly, 4 plus 1 we can write as 2 squared plus 1 squared. Now 4 I can write as 2 into 2 into 1, because I was using 2 and 1 the numbers, so whose squares is 4 and 1. So 4 can be written as 2 into 2 into 1. Now here, so if you take m as 2 and n as 1, if m equals to 2 and n will take as 1. So here 2 square minus 1 square will be written as m square minus n square. And 2 into 1. So 2 into m into n, because m is 2, n is 1. And 2 square plus 1 square will be written as m square plus n square. Now 2 into m into n can be written as 2mn. Now this is another criteria or a condition for a Pythagorean triplet. So a Pythagorean triplet can be of this form also, that is m square minus n square, m square plus n square and 2mn. So now here we see that m square minus n square and m square plus m square, the condition is m should be always greater than n. So here, although we know that in a right triangle, the sum of the two squares, we get the third square. Like c square is equal to a square plus b square. That means you are using square numbers only. So here, suppose I take one of the member is 13. Now let's see how to find it using this method. Now 13 can be a sum of squares or difference of squares. 13 can be any of the side of the right triangle. So if it is a hypotenuse, you will add the squares. If it is either the base or the perpendicular, we will subtract the squares, as we have learned in Pythagoras theorem. Here, let's find out what we can do so that we will get 13. Either we can add the squares or we can subtract the squares. So we are having a list of square numbers, that is 1, 4, 9, 16 and so on. Using this one, let's see how we will get 13. Now, suppose we add 9 and 4, we will get 13. That means we are using the sum of squares. So 9 plus 4 can be written as 3 square plus 2 square. 3 squared is 9, 2 squared is 4. Now 3 squared plus 2 squared can be written as m squared plus n squared. Now m squared plus n squared, that is the sum of the squares. Here 13 is 3 square plus 2 square. That means one of the member is m squared plus n squared. That one you have got. Now using this one, we have to find the other two. Now if we'll just compare 3 square plus 2 square with m square plus n square. So we can say that m is 3 and n is 2 here. As we know, m is greater than n. The bigger one will be 3 and smaller is 2. So m will be 3 and n will be 2. Now from this we know what is m and n. So using this m and n, we can find 2mn. So 2mn is nothing but 2 into 3 into 2. So we get 12. And using the same mn, we can find out the m square minus n square also. So here m square minus n square will be 3 squared minus 2 squared. That is equals to 9 minus 4, 5. So here using the sum of the squares, we are finding the other two members. Because we have taken sum of the square, that means m square plus n square we can know. So using m square plus n square, we are finding mn. And using m and n, we are finding the other two members. So here we can say 5, 12 and 13 form a Pythagorean triplet. Next, the triplet 3, 4 and 5. So 3 can be written as 4 minus 1. 5 can be written as 4 plus 1. Now here 4 minus 1 can be written as 2 squared minus 1 squared. Because 4 is the square of 2 and 1 is the square of 1. Similarly, 4 plus 1 can be written as 2 square plus 1 square. Here we see that we have used the numbers 2 and 1 in both of the cases. So we will use the same 2 and 1 to get 4. So how we can get 4? We can just multiply that 2 with the 2. So 2 into 1. So the 2 and 1 are the used in the previous 3 and 5. So here if we say m is equals to 2 and n is equals to 1, the first form can be written as m squared minus n squared. And second one can be written as 2 into m into n. And the last one m squared plus n squared, because here you have taken m is 2 and n is 1. Now we will use the same criteria. So 2 into m into n can be written as 2mn. So using this one, we can construct Pythagorean triplets. Now let's see. So let's consider the triplets of form m squared minus n squared, m squared plus n squared and 2mn. Here we notice that m should be always greater than n. Then only we'll get a positive, because m squared minus n squared. So it's a square number, so it should be positive. So we'll take m should be greater than n. Now here, so let's consider the number 13, which we are unable to find in the previous method. Now we'll say this one here. So 13, here what we do, as you can see here, the triplet, the formation of the triplet, the one of them is the sum of the squares, another one is the difference of the squares. Like m square plus n square, that is sum of two squares. M square minus n square is the difference of two squares. So here we will try to represent 13 as a sum of the squares or difference of the squares. So here let's consider some square numbers 1, 4, 9, 16 like this, and check from here how we can get 13. Either we can add two square numbers or subtract. So here we can see that if I add 9 plus 4, we get 13. So here we are using sum of the squares. So 9 can be written as 3 squared, 4 is the 2 squared. Now 3 squared plus 2 squared is of the form m squared plus n squared. So that is the sum of the squares. So one of the member is 13, that is now in the form of m square plus m square. So from this one we can say that m is 3 and n is 2, because you can just compare it. 3 square plus 2 square, m square plus n square. Here m is 3 and n is 2. So when we take m is 3 and n is 2, we can find out 2mn. Now 2mn is nothing but 2 into m into n. So m is 3, n is 2. So we get 12. Similarly, we can find m square minus n square. That's the third member of the group. So m is nothing but 3, n is nothing but 2. That becomes 3 squared minus 2 squared. So we get 9 minus 4, that is 5. So here we can say that 5, 12 and 13 form the Pythagorean triplet. Because these are the three members. So one of the member is the sum of the square, another member is the difference of the squares. So here we can construct a Pythagorean triplet if one of the member is odd. So let's take another example. Let's take the number 21. Now 21 is also an odd number. So either we can take it as the sum of the squares or difference of the squares. So let's consider the square numbers. So you have to find out two numbers such that when you add or subtract, you have to get 21. Here we can see that 25 minus 4 from the square number list, 25 minus 4 if we do, we'll get 21. So 25 minus 4, that means you are doing difference of the squares. We are subtracting the squares and getting 21. So 25 is the square of 5 and 4 is the square of 2. Now 5 squared minus 2 squared can be compared with m squared minus n squared, because we are finding the difference of the squares. So difference of the squares means it is m squared minus n squared. So using this one, we will find out m and n. So here m will be 5 and n will be 2. Just compare m squared minus n squared with 5 squared minus 2 squared. So m will be 5, n will be 2. Here we can find 2mn. So 2mn is 2 into m into n. So m is 5, n is 2. So 2 into 5 into 2, we get 20. Now the same way, by using m and n, we can find the sum of the square, that is m square plus n square. That's the third member. So 5 square plus 2 square, we get 29. So here we can say that 21, 20 and 29 form a Pythagorean triplets. So here we can use two methods. Either of this condition, that is one will be 2m, the other two members will be m squared minus 1, m squared plus 1. So this one we can use it for even numbers if one of the member is even. And suppose one of the member is odd, we can use this one. And this method can be used for any number, whether it is even or odd, we can use it. Just you have to form either it will be sum of the squares or difference of the squares, because as they are Pythagorean triplet, they will be either the sum of the square or difference of the square. So if it is the hypotenuse, that's the longest side, will be always sum of the squares. If it is the one of the smaller one, it will be of the difference of the squares. So the both of the methods can be used to find or to construct Pythagorean triplets. Let's see one more concept here, scale them up. Now what is this, sir? Now suppose we consider the triplet 3, 4 and 5. Now suppose we multiply 2 with each of the member, what we get? We get 6, 8 and 10. Now 6, 8 and 10, let's check it. Now 6 square plus 8 square, that is 36 plus 64, we get 100, and 100 is nothing but 10 square. So this is also a triplet, because the sum of the squares is equals to the third square. So 6 square plus 8 square is equals to 10 square. So it's forming that c square equals to a square plus b square. That's a Pythagorean triplet. So here we can say that this is called as scaling them up. Just to keep on multiplying all the member with any one natural number, and we'll get the another triplet. It is like, suppose we have 3, 4 and 5. If we multiply by 2, we get 6, 8 and 10. Suppose we multiply by 3, we'll get 9, 12 and 15. So 9, 12, 15 is also a Pythagorean triplet, because 9 square is 81, 12 square is 144. When we add them, we get 225. So 225 is nothing but 15 square. So similarly, if you multiply with 4, so 3 4s are 12, 4 4s are 16, 5 4s are 20. Now 12, 16, 20 is another triplet. So in this way, we can get as many triplets we want. That many we can construct using only one of the triplet. So this can be done with any triplet. Just keep on multiplying with the 2, 3, 4 and so on. We'll just keep on getting Pythagorean triplets. So that's the thing. They have to just follow the rule c square equals to a square plus b square. Just to remember the Pythagoras theorem, and this concept will be very much easy. That's the Pythagorean triplets. Thank you and keep exploring.